Hey YouTube family and friends, thank you for joining us today. If you're new to our channel, thank you for coming out.
Appreciate
if you're coming back, thank you for your support. So you guys, you've been along with us on our journey. We are about 3 to 4 weeks into creating our dreams, creating our own business, launching our avenue into entrepreneurship, into this global economy. So we want to bring you some new, fresh content today, content about setting up your business. So let's get into it. Okay, so by this moment or by this time in your journey, you've already started to kind of think about what the vision is for your business. You've started to business plan. That includes your marketing plan, that includes your financial planning, and all other aspects of planning the business. One aspect of planning and setting up your business is to actually check off those tasks that pertains to licenses, permits, taxes, and things of that nature. So this is what this YouTube episode is about, walking you through that process as it pertains to our new business. So the setup and administration of your business is going to start with the legal structure that you actually decide to take for your business. In America, there are 7 common business structures: an LLC, a C or an S corp. You have limited partnerships, you have general partnerships, you have sole proprietorships or doing business as, you have non-profit organizations. These are some of the common ones that are used throughout America when people decide that they want to actually start a business. Now, one thing that I do want to point out to you, as I've gone through this journey, I would say the one thing that I have learned, and my baby can attest to this, is that things will go awry. You will get things wrong. You will make mistakes. For instance, I sent some paperwork off. I didn't send a payment with that paperwork. The organization that I actually sent the paperwork off to had to resend it back to us. I resend it back to it's steps in this particular process. So I say this to say, don't get discouraged by the process because it can be overbearing. It can be exhausting. The administration piece is extremely important for you to get right. It's extremely important for you to get right from a legal perspective, from a tax perspective, from a tax discount perspective. And we'll talk about that in just one moment.
And I want you to leave some comments below later because I think she owed me some money. But we'll talk about that later because she didn't do all the paperwork right.
He's right. So let's get into the actual choice that we decided upon for our legal entity or structure of our business. We decided for a couple of different reasons. There are some advantages to our decision and some disadvantages, just like there are with all of the other legal structures to starting a business. But our business is starting out as a sole proprietorship. We'll think later on down the line if that makes sense as we grow, as we continue to evolve, as we continue to learn. But I'll tell you, the reason why we decided to go with the sole proprietorship, number one, it's easy. It's something that you can do just by learning things on the internet about how to start a sole proprietorship. It's cost efficient. There's not a lot of cost involved. I mean, I think the most we paid was like $250 to actually start our trademark, which is another conversation that we'll get into a little bit deeper in our YouTube episodes.
And always remember, easy is not always best. I mean,
that's true.
The fact that you're starting your own business is something that's not easy. So you don't always want to take the easy route as you're trying to set up your business, but you need to choose the best route for what you're trying to do.
But for us, we chose this particular method because it was easy. We could do it ourselves. It was cost efficient. It's fast. The disadvantages of a sole proprietorship is that honestly, you are your business. Your business may have a name or doing business as. However, remember that your personal assets are at stake when it comes to any liabilities that the business incurs. So that is extremely important to understand. That is extremely important to point out. And I would say it's definitely the biggest disadvantage of starting a sole proprietorship.
Wait. So you're saying that they might take my chain?
Yeah, I've been telling them to get rid of this ugly chain anyway.
I'm from Miami. This is a link to
a Cuban link, and that's what he keeps telling me.
Buy that chains in Miami.
So number 2, you want to register yourself as an employer with the federal government, so with the IRS. That is called obtaining a federal employer identification number. Now you may be saying, we're not looking to hire anyone, but you never know if down the line as your business grows, you may want to hire someone. But let's also think about your federal employer ID number is just not for hiring. It's actually for submitting taxes, for banking and financial information. You will need this to get a lot of things started within your business. For instance, if you're buying products to actually resell, you can use that federal EEIN number so that you can get a discount on those taxes when you buy those products. You need a FEIN number in order to actually tax customers. So your federal employer identification number or FEIN number is extremely important. So one last point on your FEIN number, think of it as your employer social security number. I know that in America, all of us, if you are a person, you have a social security number. Your federal EIN number is similar to that. It's used to actually identify yourself. It's used to track your business with the federal government. And so it's really, really critical to ensure that you have that. Number 3, you will definitely need to decide if you need a business insurance policy. Yes, this is extremely important. Again, if you're a sole proprietor or doing business as, your personal assets are liable for any risk, any types of things that happen within the business. So that's where a business insurance plan comes in. There are all different types. There are general coverage insurance plans. Get into the internet, go do your research. We decided that we were going to go with the Hartford company as our service provider for the business insurance, just because it was economical for us. It met all of our needs, but there are all types of companies out there that offer this types of insurance. For instance, AIG, the Hartford company, as I just mentioned, State Farm. I will point out that you want to be very cognizant, because as of the COVID-19 or coronavirus pandemic, there have been a lot of different changes and rules to the business insurance policies. Some business insurance policies come with coverage for COVID-19 and other different things of that nature. So just get into the details of your business policy. Make sure it meets all of your needs.
So, quick question. Will Hartford cover my chain?
No. I'm sick of this chain, okay? So if you guys like the content that we're bringing, if you have feedback on other additional content that you might want to see, please like, comment, subscribe, because we are definitely going to be bringing more to you guys and need your input.
And we really, really appreciate you guys following us on our journey or tuning in today. It's very important to us that we share our journey to help those out there that's trying to do the same thing. So please continue to keep watching us, and we're going to provide more and more content as the days go on. Thank you.
So tip number 4, setting up your business. This is all about creating your team. We're going to include a link of a lot of different resources that we have used to help us to kind of identify in what areas we need a team, what type of team we need, how big the team needs to be, and so on and so forth. Those particular resources will be included in a link in this video, as well as in the summary section of the video as well.
And when we're talking about team, I mean, when you first start now, you have limited resources when we're talking about from a funding standpoint. So you can use friends, family, maybe they'll give you a discounted rate. I'm not talking about China rates, cheap rates, but at least you can be able to utilize their help at a much lesser cost. And also, there's another resource. There's a lot of virtual assistants that you can use on the internet. And when you go onto the internet to look for a virtual assistant, they have assistants from all over the world. So one of my friends, I know that he utilizes a virtual assistant that lives in the Philippines. So while he's sleeping, she's doing a lot of the work that he needs to do and following up on leads for him. So that's another option that you have that you can utilize.
Number 5, let's talk about certificates, permits, and licenses. My very first tip is you absolutely want to get yourself familiar with the Small Business Administration and their website. Guys, it's a ton of information out there,
yes.
But every single week, no matter where we are in our journey, we dedicate time to actually looking through that website, every page, every single thing that may pertain to what we're doing in our business at that time. That particular website is extremely important, it's extremely helpful, it's extremely resourceful, to be quite honest. So I would say start there. Figure out, once you start there, they're going to ask you, all types of questions to identify your industry, and from that point you'll have an idea of how you get kick-started into all of the steps that you need to take in order to start your business.
And this is where I bring up that point that I talked about earlier, where I want you guys to leave comments to see if she owes me some money. So during her process of setting up all of the permits and license that we need, I thought we had a resale license from what she had told me. So
it's not even a resale license, it's a certificate. So if you're gonna tell the story,
a resale certificate license, same thing, right? Basically, she said, yes, baby, we got the retail certificate. You can go ahead and start buying the inventory that we need for our business. So I'm all excited. I got this paper that looks like a retail certificate, but it's halfway filled out. So I'm like, is this done? She's like, yeah, that's all you got to put on there. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go to buy the inventory, and everybody that I'm coming in contact with, the wholesalers and the manufacturers, are saying, we need a resale certificate number. And I was like, well, I thought this is all you need. It was like, no. So long story short, we had to wind up paying the full price, including tax, because we didn't have a resale certificate. So make sure that you have everything secure, because there's other fees associated when you don't have all of your stuff nailed down like it's supposed to be. And she owes me that tax money.
I owe him $13, child.
It was way more than $13, but
it wasn't.
Don't be fooled by what she's saying.
$13, but okay. So in our research in Texas, the type of business that we're starting, we need 2 primary things. As he mentioned, a resale certificate and a sales tax permit. One thing that I did find to be very, very helpful is using our state comptroller's website to file all of these different types of processes and to complete the paperwork. A lot of things are electronic now. A lot of things you can actually complete online and then mail in if it requires it. So I really, really urge you guys and recommend using the state comptroller's website as well, because it'll give you a lot of other information about how to start your business and to complete all of the necessary certificates, licenses, and permits for your municipality or your county or your state or your city. So that's extremely important also.
Once again, everybody, if you're liking the information that we're providing to you, or you just like to see us, please promote, like, whatever it takes to keep us going. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Number 6, creating your business banking. Again, that number 2, where we have that federal employer identification number. You're going to need that number at this step. Your business banking and your personal banking should absolutely be separate. You don't want to get to the end of the tax year and try to have to figure out, wow, did I spend money here in my personal life? Did I use this credit card for the business? So you want to separate those lines so that it's not muddy. It's going to be easier for you. It won't give you headaches at tax time, and it'll make sure that you're actually paying the right taxes or receiving taxes back. I mean, some of us get that.
So that's a great point, because when we first started out, we were using this credit card for certain things, our debit card for other things, cash for another thing. But once we got the business account, we was able to consolidate everything. Yes, we did keep all the receipts at the beginning, so we have everything, and we're still keeping receipts now. But now, since it's all in a centralized location, it makes it easy for us to look at, hey, what is our budget? What did we forecast? Where are we with actual costs? And now it's all in one repository. It makes it so much easier for us to manage.
That's very true. And I'm the one managing it, so it's very easy.
I manage it too. Not only you. I spend it. But you've been spending my money for a long time.
Okay. So, creating business banking, we went with a couple of different options, to be quite honest. We went with the business checking account. We also have a business savings account and business corporate credit. Corporate credit is very different than your personal credit. I mean, honestly, with us starting a sole proprietorship, it's based upon our personal credit profiles. However, we should only be using our business corporate credit for business transactions. Like, we're not going to go and buy shoes or Christmas gifts for the kids using those types of accounts, because that's not what they've been designed for. That's not what they're designated for. And honestly, you can get into a lot of tax liability trouble doing those types of things. So just a tidbit there. We decided to go with Bank of America as our business banking provider because we have a reputation with them. We have a long-standing relationship. So we just decided that was easier. It was as simple as calling up our local regional banking location, speaking with a banker that was there that handled business accounts, and we literally got the business account set up in about 2 weeks. So that's all we had today. We wanted to bring you the content, the steps, the 6 steps that we went through to set up and administrate our business. We know that this journey is definitely going to be rewarding for you. We've learned so much, and we definitely thank you again for coming and for listening to all of the things that we've learned and all of the knowledge we've acquired. Thank you.
I'm about to go to the gym and get these guns right. Okay, thank you.
You can't say that, because if I can't say Sunday fun day, you can't be like, I'm going to the gym.
To get these guns right.
Boy, bye.